Hi, I'm Marc and this is Marc's Italian Kitchen. Today is a great day. It's cold. It's minus 15 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's sunny, so it's a great day to cook. Today I'm doing one of my favorite dishes. It's a frittata. A frittata, so what's a frittata? Frittata is simply a egg and cheese-based pie without the crust. So you can add anything to the frittata. You can make a sausage and mushroom frittata. You could do a vegetarian frittata with broccoli and cauliflower. You could do a peppers and eggplant frittata. Today I'm doing one of my favorites. In Italy, I would usually do a brunch on Sundays, and I still do when I'm back in town. And I would have normally one of my favorite frittatas, which is the bacon, leek, and potato frittata, and that's what we're doing today. With my wife, we would normally go to the markets, usually on Saturdays. We either go to Sant'Ambrogio market, which is a lovely market every day of the week except Mondays, or Sundays rather, or we go to the Greve and Chianti market, which is a beautiful outdoor market on Saturdays, and we come home with just amazing fresh produce and cheeses and prosciuttos and salamis, just everything possible under the sun. So by Sunday morning when we get up, the kitchen's usually full. Lots of good produce, lots of good cheeses, lots of ingredients to make some wonderful dishes. So it's ideal for my frittata. Again, so today I'm doing the leek and potato and the bacon frittata. Bacon, usually I would use the guanciale, which is the cheek of the pig, or I do the pancetta, which is the belly of the pig. But I couldn't find any of that today at the market, so I'm using thick cut bacon. That's going to add a lot of flavor to this frittata. Leeks. Normally I'd use non-organic leeks, but I found only the organic leeks in the market this morning. A leek is a cousin to the onion and to the garlic. So it's a vegetable, and when we're preparing or cutting the leek, we normally eat the stalk part. The stalk is the white or the light green area of the leek. So this part of the green part, dark green part, we toss out. So I've got 6 leeks. I'm using, again, the bacon, center cut, thick cut bacon, and I'm using young potatoes or new potatoes. Why am I using the small ones? Because the small ones have less starch and they're sweeter. So when I cut them, we're going to cut these in slices, and they're going to hold their form much better. So we're going to cook the potatoes in a sheet pan in the oven. I've got the grate. So this is what we're going to use to cook the potatoes in. And the actual frittata itself, we're using a skillet. The skillet my mother gave me for Christmas. Thanks, Mom. This is a wonderful heavy bottom skillet. It's oven safe. It's got a stainless steel handle on it, and it's perfect for making the frittata. Again, the frittata in general is cooked in the skillet, either on a stovetop or in the oven. So that's what we're going to use today. So let me get everything ready and come over to the workstation and we'll get started. Okay, we're ready to go. So my leeks, I've already cut the leeks, and you'll note that the leeks have folds or layers of leaves within the center or the internal part of the stalk. And within these layers, there's often grit or dirt or sand. So you want to make sure that you rinse these off thoroughly before you cut them. So these are all rinsed off, they're cut and they're ready to go. So I'm just going to chop these all relatively thin. And again, when they are in the skillet, I'm just going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in, and 3 garlic cloves, and season with salt and pepper. So that's simple, and it takes about roughly about 10 or so minutes for these to cook down. And when they do cook, they're going to turn slightly golden, and they're going to caramelize a bit, and they're going to become nice and sweet. And there we go, our leeks are ready to go, and I'm just going to toss them in this bowl, and we're going to let them sit for a second, because after a leek is cut, it's wise to let it set for about 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to be putting my bacon on medium-low heat, and we're going to let the bacon render. I've got the bacon ready on my skillet, and we're just going to toss it on the heat. And earlier I mentioned that we're going to be cooking the bacon in the skillet, just because I want the grease to be used for flavoring our leeks. So the bacon will take probably about 10 or so minutes to become nice and crisp. In the meantime, we're going to finish off our potatoes. So I've got the leeks ready to go. And we're going to be working with our potatoes. So the baby new potatoes, we're going to just slice those as thin as we can. And there you go, our potatoes are ready. Back in the bowl. And again, some garlic. We're going to use the garlic to cook along with our leeks. So I've got smashed 3 garlic cloves here. I'm just going to mince. Get rid of the skin. I can smell that bacon cooking right now. It is making me hungry. Okay, we're ready. Now I'm just waiting for the bacon to finish cooking. When the bacon's done, we'll continue with our little lesson here. All right, our bacon's ready. It's nice and crispy, and we've got some really good bacon fat to flavor our leeks. I've got the garlic minced. I've got my leeks cut. Season them with a little salt, kosher salt, pinch of salt, and some ground black pepper. And those are going to go right into my skillet with the bacon fat. And then our potatoes. I've got the oven up to 400 degrees, and I've got my potatoes all nicely cut. I drizzled some olive oil over the potatoes, and they're simply seasoned with salt and black pepper. And they're going to go right on to my sheet pan. And why am I using the grate? Because they're going to get a little crisper this way. The hot air will be able to go underneath around all sides of the little potatoes cut. And these will go into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until they're nice and crisp. And now we'll put everything in the skillet. Come over here and we'll get going over here. Oh, in the meantime, forgot an important element. The eggs. Sorry about that. I've got 5 large eggs. They're broken, and we're going to mix in with our eggs. I've got a cup of half and half. Again, you can use heavy cream or whole milk. I've got about a cup of shredded mozzarella. Everything goes in the bowl with the eggs. And then I've got a little bit of a finely grated pecorino romano. And then before I add in the crumbled gorgonzola, we're going to mix these up nicely. And then we're going to finish seasoning them. You want to make sure they're all, you have a homogeneous mixture here, so the egg mixture is all blended in quite well. And pinch of salt makes everything taste better. And I've got a little bit of dried oregano, about a teaspoon. And we're going to set this in the refrigerator for a few minutes until we're ready with the leeks and the potatoes. All right, we'll come over to the oven and we'll put everything in where it belongs. All right, the bacon fat is rendered nicely. The pan's still quite warm. I just turned the heat back on. And first of all, we're going to add in our leeks. Again, the leeks are slightly seasoned with salt and pepper. And I'm going to wait a few seconds until they soften up just a little bit before I add into the garlic. Again, I've got 3 garlic cloves minced. I'm on medium heat. And I'm just going to coat them, stir them all until they're all nice and coated. In the meantime, our potatoes are going to go in the oven. We've got a 400-degree oven. And the potatoes are coated with olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. And they're going to stay in there for about 10 or 15 minutes until they get nice and crisp. Okay, we're going to toss in our garlic. And we're just going to let those sit on the skillet for a few minutes. All right. See, in a few seconds, when everything's ready to combine, we're going to combine our leeks, we're going to combine the potatoes, and we're going to combine our egg mixture into this skillet here. You're going to see that in a few minutes the leeks will be rendered down and all mixed in with our bacon fat, and the volume will be much less than it is right now. Okay. Again, they're slowly cooking. They're going to getting some nice color to them and releasing their flavor. Well, we're getting down to the stretch here. The potatoes came out of the oven, and I've just coated the top of my pan on top of the leeks. So now they're nice and golden. On top of that, we're going to now chop up the bacon. So the bacon is just into large pieces. And just toss it over the potatoes. I'm not going to waste anything here, it's all good. And now, the end part, we've got our egg mixture. So, we've got 5 large eggs in here. I've got shredded mozzarella. We've got crumbled gorgonzola. I've got a couple tablespoons of whole milk ricotta cheese. We've got a cup of half and half. I've got some dried oregano, salt and pepper. And that's about it. So we're going to then just pour this over the top of the leeks and potatoes. We're going to cover the whole pan up. Give it a little shake just so that the egg mixes in with all the leeks and the potatoes. Make it look nice. And that's it, gents. Well, we have it. Now it's got to cook. So I have my oven set at 350 degrees. It's going to go in the oven for approximately 15 minutes at 350. Then the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, we're going to bump it up to 375, just to ensure that the bottom of the bottom layer gets nice and crispy, because that's going to be the top. We're going to do a little balancing game here. We're going to toss it upside down on top of a pie pan. So we should have a nice little pie afterwards. There we go. So it goes in the oven. We'll see you all back here in about 20-25 minutes. Okay, frittata is coming out of the oven. Let's see what happened. It smells great. The whole house smells fantastic. And voila, our frittata. This looks good, smells good. And it looks kind of loose, which is good. It's got nice coloring on the top of it. And let's do a little bit of gymnastics here. Let's hope that it turns out. I'm going to flip it upside down. And voila, that looks fantastic. Check this out. Our leek, bacon, and potato frittata. And I've got a little side dish here. I've got a little green salad on the side. And we're just going to cut a little sliver. Just to see how good we did. Put a little parsley on top of that. Okay, the moment has come. Oh, it's delicious. Another bite of that. Hot, but scrumptious. There you go. You're on your own now. You have a great day. Be authentic and enjoy cooking. See you next time.